Today's training was fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. Got to do some good drills. Did a lot of sprinting. And I heard this the other day watching. Who was I watching? Mike Glover. Yeah, Mike Glover suggested that you try out your drills cold and full battle rattle, and hit the drills and test it, 'cause that's what you're going to be doing in real life, and get those repetitions in. So that's what I did today. That's what I focused on. I just went straight into it, no warm up or nothing. Just went straight into it and there's some good test results. I got to see some things that are a little bit different. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess probably one of the most difficult parts I would think would be the sprinting, right? If you, 'cause I ran a lot of track, Division I, high school, whatever, right? And if you take off sprinting cold, you're going to get hurt. But in real life, you don't have time to warm up. So you do got to train those cold reps. And it's important because as long as your body is used to activating while cold, you can get a lot of test results, especially with sprinting, right? Because that's what happens with a lot of athletes. You see at the Olympic Games, they fucking pull a hamstring or something, or they're like, I didn't get time to warm up, or it was too cold out and I got hurt and my quad. Yeah, no. There's track meets that rain, that are cold, it's in the spring season, so there's a lot of raining. So you want to get those reps in on those days. You want to train when it's most cold, when it's most raining out, whether you're in training your military equipment or you're training your sports, right? You got to train in those most difficult days, when it's the most hottest in the summer, when it's the most cold in the winter, when it's raining outside, because when game day does come, you've already trained it. It's just another day. It doesn't matter if there's rain or shine, you've been in it. And that's one thing I ran into a lot of, was people complaining about the weather or something, whether it's on the track or when I was in the military. It just doesn't matter. So that's something to keep that in mind. And so that's why I train whatever, doesn't matter the day. And I didn't think about the cold rep thing until Mr. Glover said that. I was like, oh yeah, that's a good thought. No warm up, no stretching, nothing, just straight into it. Hard sprint, because that's what it is going to be in real life. So yeah, that was something I thought about, something I got to just explore today, got my body tested to that. And yeah, there's a couple things I'll tweak definitely on doing that straight cold. When you go into something straight cold, I think the best thing to have is technique. That is the most important part, for me at least, is working your technique. Because once you start and you get it into cold, the next you fall to your level of technique. And your level of technique is very important. So a lot of people don't think about the sprinting aspect. Are they running wrong? And what I mean by that is, if you take off sprinting and you're cold and you're pulling from your hamstrings and you're cycling as you're sprinting, and your sprinting is more of a long distance stride opposed to a correct, proper Olympic sprint, you're going to pull your hamstring because you're cold. And what I mean by that is instead of lifting at the hip and then pulling at the knee and doing it that way with your sprint, you're pulling from your ankle to your butt. And that's more of a long distance stride opposed to a piston driven, right? You want it going this way when you're sprinting. You don't want it looping back. Because when you loop back is when you loop back, that's when you start hurting your hamstrings. So technique is very important when you bust out into those sprints. If you're cold, is, are you sprinting properly? And when you're sprinting properly, that fixes and helps a lot of things and prevents injury. A lot of people don't know how to sprint properly. They think they can just, the faster they run, they're just going to sprint properly. No. There's an actual technique to sprinting properly. When you're sprinting properly, go ahead, back up a little bit, is you're here in the motion and you're pulling like that, right? And it's coming up and it's hitting down. It's at an angle, boom, boom, right? That's your sprinting technique. Now, if you're pulling, that's what I mean by circling. That's a long distance. That's more of a long distance stride, and you're pulling a lot more with the hamstrings. And when you're pulling a lot more with the hamstrings, that's when you get hurt, especially if you bust into something cold. So that's important to remember, is just your sprinting technique. Is it proper? Is it bad? How does it feel? So it's tough to do when you got your full kit set up, you're running everything. It's really tough to do. So that part's important to remember, is you got to tweak your techniques, you tweak your equipment so that when you actually go out there, it's used to being sprinted in, rolling in the dirt, whatever, and it's not falling apart on you. So check it out. Practice your fundamentals. Till next time, guys.